Coming up in tonight's show, Martin's journey, how I've got on this week with my own personal weight loss, and our topic of the week as chosen by you guys, something that we can discuss and I can advise to help you on your weight loss or weight maintenance journey. Make sure you've eaten before this next section, because this is guaranteed to get your taste buds tingling. Get your pen and paper at the ready, because it is our low-calorie recipe of the week. And finally, a little bit of a taster of what is coming up next week. So without further ado, it is time for this week's Mondays with Martin.
Hello, so welcome to Mondays with Martin, and as you can see, I have hijacked it. Martin's currently at a gig. Just had a new follower shout out from something. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so he's at a gig. So he wanted me to let you know that he's had a good week. He's had lots of road trips and everything, so he's doing all right. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Vanessa. Turn the mic up, dial on the mic. Is that better? I don't suppose you'll know straight away. But, okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm Vanessa. I'm the other half of Team Thomas. So I'm a diet and wellness coach, working as a one-to-one diet consultant. Sorry, he's just told me to go max on the mic. I'm obviously not quite as loud as him. For some reason, can't work that out. So, yeah, as I said, we've had a busy few weeks, lots of road trips. Kind of seems strange for it not to be a bank holiday, really, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, you're just starting to get used to them and then they stop again. So I'm just trying to keep an eye. He's got so many different screens for me to look at. So, yeah, we're just starting to get used to the bank holidays, really, and they're over. But it's kind of a good thing as well, because I'm going to have to take that out because I can hear myself echoing. It's kind of a good thing because it's back to routine. It's back to usual life again. So, good. Right, okay. So, first of all, then, if you're watching this live, and I think from the many screens there are people watching, which is fab, so if you can just type in the comments #live, or if you are watching this later on, if you can type in #replay, then we can just get a good idea on when's a good time for you to watch, basically. So, as I said, I'm Vanessa. After losing 7 stone myself and helping others to support their weight loss journey and reach their own goals, I'm on a mission to spotlight this alternative way to lose weight, which basically breaks down the whole process into easier, manageable steps, and then we build you back up, get you to where you want to be. Fantastic. I've just seen some #lives come up. Get you to where you want to be, and then basically help you to stay there at maintenance. And I have tried other diets before, and you know, for obvious reasons, I can't say which ones, but I am fairly aware that there are other diets out there that don't particularly teach you the same life skills that we do, such as portion control, or give you the same one-on-one support. You know, we're not a group thing. We do have groups that you can chat within, but the actual main part of this is a one-to-one service. So, you know, everything's confidential, basically. So today I'm going to be talking to you as my topic of the week, tips for talking to others about healthy eating. You know, whether you've got kids, whether you've got grandkids, whether you've got other family members, whether you've got colleagues, you know, sometimes you can fly under the radar and no one says anything, and you might be quite happy with that. In fact, I've got a particular client in mind who hasn't even told her partner, and she just keeps everything just to herself. He's a shift worker, so he doesn't particularly see what she eats, but that's how she wants it, because she's fearful of his reaction, or more that it will be, you don't need to diet, go on, have a bit. You know what it can be like. People think that they're trying to help by telling you that you don't need to lose weight, when, personally, if you're not happy in your own skin, BMI aside, your health and your happiness is absolutely the main priority. So it has to be your own journey. It has to be something that you're comfortable with, but often these conversations do come up. So, without further ado,
topic of the week.
Okay, so I am a parent. I've got 2 children. I've got 9 and I've got 19. They're their ages, not how many children I've got, just to clarify. So, yes, I'm a parent. It doesn't mean that I'm absolutely qualified to tell you how to speak to your kids, because all kids are different. But I do understand the anxiety of talking to a child about being on a healthy eating diet, because you don't want to upset them, you don't want to trigger them anyway. I've just had Jackie's just commented, I get a lot of don't lose any more, you'll be too skinny. Yep, they think they're being really kind, and you can see it as a compliment because they think you look fine, but again, it's how you feel. And if this is something that you want to do, a few key things to drop into the conversation hopefully might be helpful. So to start off then, the word diet isn't a dirty word. I'm sure Martin's told you many, many a times that diet is simply the name of the food that we consume. So you can have a healthy, balanced diet, or this might be my assistant. Thank you very much. She's just been swimming and she's just bought me the names for the drawer later. Thank you very much. If you can shut the door out on your way, please, so the dog doesn't come in, because that's the last thing I need. We have got an absolutely fantastic Labrador, but we have swivel chairs. So when she comes in and jumps up, the room starts spinning. So, okay. As I said, the word diet isn't a dirty word. It is literally the name for the foods that we consume. So you can have healthy diets, you can have vegetarian diets, vegan is a diet. There are some religions that require certain types of diet. But generally, we use the word diet as a term for losing weight. So, yes, the one-to-one diet, the name implies it all, but it is a diet that is tailored to you on a one-to-one basis. So, the healthy diet is basically just leading you to improved health. So, as I said, my youngest is 9 years old. She goes to primary school, and I've also got a grown-up son. And I've often felt the niggle. Are they hearing too much? Am I saying too much? Am I going to put them off food? Am I going to give them disorders? It is absolutely terrifying when you start going down, particularly with children, that road of what should I and shouldn't I say. But when you think logically, are they hearing too much? There you go. Jackie says, prefer healthy eating plan. Absolutely, and that is what it is. So when you think, are they hearing too much? What are they hearing too much of? Is it facts? Is it that you're worried that they're going to then obsess themselves over food? But healthy eating isn't about obsession. It's about getting everything in good balance. So it's about actually setting a good example. There are no good there are no evil foods. Yep, Charmaine's saying young people are very impressionable. And yeah, I definitely know from my own experience, even when I worked in a school, you know, it's often, shh, don't say that in front of the children. You know, you don't want them to think such and such. So I think honesty is the best policy. So there are no good foods, there are no evil foods. It's all a matter of balance. So my first top tip is don't tell them that you're being naughty by having a certain food. You know, eating a bar of Galaxy isn't naughty. You know, if your child had that same chocolate bar, would you tell them they're being naughty? Well, you might if it's just before dinner, but generally that is something you might allow your child to have. So why would you then tell them it's naughty for you to have? You have to set an example. So it would be more a case of, you know, this is your chocolate bar, this is what I'm giving to you. And if they say, would you like some? No, thank you. Now, you could even answer, no, thank you, I'm not hungry right now. Or no, thank you, I'm just about to have my dinner. No, thank you, I'm full. Or no, thank you, I just don't want it right now. And although you might be thinking, I really, really want that chocolate bar. Do you? Does it fit in with your goals? So it's not about lying, it's about getting things in proportion. And although it sounds quite simplistic, different age children can handle different amounts of information. Like there's no point in teaching A-levels maths to a primary school age child, is there? So you don't have to go into minute details. You don't have to say about calorie deficit. You don't have to say about being overweight and all the different health conditions that might lead to, or anything particularly that you're worried about if you don't talk to your children about health complaints. To be absolutely honest, they're going to be learning a lot of these things in school. There is a traditional eat well plate, for example, that schools use, which has like quarter of the plate nearly, which is carbohydrates, quarter of the plate is proteins, there's a little slither of fats, and then the rest of it is pretty much veg. So even as young as reception, they will be learning about healthy food within school because it is part of the curriculum. So there's no need to go down to the smallest detail. It's just about breaking it down into understandable mini chunks, really. So it's about putting into practice what you're doing at home. So firstly, we've certainly got lots of healthy, family-friendly meals that you can get them involved into. I know my daughter certainly likes cooking. So it's best to be proactive. You know, you'll teach them vital skills for the future by allowing them to cook healthily for themselves. I don't mean for themselves completely, you know, obviously supervised depending on age. Sharp knives shouldn't be unattended. You know your stuff, you're a parent, you've got this. But what you actually say to them is age appropriate to them. So I say, for my primary school age child, if she offers me something off her plate, as I said earlier, it's often, no, thank you, I've just eaten, I'm going to eat, I'm not hungry. But particularly with our diet, we are eating in the lower steps with our meal replacements, we're eating something completely different. So how do you explain them sat there with their roast dinner and you've got your spaghetti bolognese product in front of you, and they say, Grandma, Mummy, Daddy, whoever, why aren't you having a roast dinner? You normally do. What are you going to say then? Certainly not about fat globules clogging your arteries and leading to high cholesterol, so you're having to eat in low calorie deficit. That's just absolutely going to blow their minds. It would just simply be that I've lost my words, sorry. Adults and children simply require different levels of nutrition. You're working on your own health at the moment, just like they've been learning at school. And you can ask them what they've been learning at school, find out how much they're learning, and you just say, you know, on your plate, can you tell me what a carbohydrate is? And they'll point to the potato, and you say, fantastic, okay. What's the protein? And they'll point to the chicken. And then you can talk about your 5 a day and making sure it's important that you eat lots of fruit and vegetables. And they say, yeah, but if I'm eating healthily, why are you having something different? So my advice would be just to say that we are all different. We've all got different body types. And right now, it is absolutely important for you to be growing. You've got lots of bones and muscles to grow. You want to be fit and healthy so you can run around with your friends or mention any sports that they're doing. But, you know, right now, mummy, grandma, daddy isn't having as much exercise as you. So I'm not using all the same energy as you. So right now, this is all I need to eat. This is giving me all the goodness, all the vitamins and minerals that I need to be healthy. So I've got my dinner and you've got your dinner so that you grow up to be fit and healthy. Now, obviously, as you bank up to teenagers, bear with me, sorry. As you move up to the teenage years, you probably are going to be slightly more self-conscious again about not saying too much about dieting. And again, as Jackie said, healthy eating plan. You might feel a little bit more conscious of that, particularly girls. But to be honest, the statistics that teenage boys are just as image conscious as their female counterparts. They possibly just deal with it in a different way. So again, there are no bad foods. It's simply explaining to them, you know, again, talking to them about what they've learned at school, and just explain to them that you're eating something different because that's what your body requires right now. But assure them that for them, they are eating absolutely everything that they should be for their growth and well-being. And you can just say, look, I'm at a point in my life where I'm looking after my own health. And so I've taken some advice, and right now, this is what I need to be fit and healthy. You don't need to say anything about calories. You don't need to mention it at all. Obviously, once they're over 18, yeah, by all means, you can go a little bit more in depth with them. But there's actually a fantastic website. It is foodafactoflife.org.uk, and I will type it in the comments. But it actually gives you a breakdown and some more specific pointers of what your child is learning at school for their different age groups. So you can get an understanding of where they in with... Sorry, my watch is clicking me to go live, and I have. You can get an understanding of what it is that they're learning at school right now. For example, my daughter recently had to make a healthy sandwich. So she had to think, you know, what she would include in that sandwich. So she went for a chicken salad sandwich. Absolutely fantastic. But you also have to remember that even when we talk about fats, there are good and bad fats, you know. You've got your saturated and unsaturated fats. So even fats aren't something you should avoid completely, you know. Dare I say, a sneak preview of Martin's recipe of the month does contain sugar because you are allowed it. It's just the quantities. So as I said, if you are worried about talking to children and specifically, check out that website. You can see what it is that they're learning right now. You can download some knowledge organisers activities and quizzes to actually tailor make it for your child. But if you would like some specific information, if your child particularly is exhibiting any signs of eating disorders, there are plenty of people you can speak to: the school, your health worker, the doctor even, you know, if you are concerned, please do address these things. But generally, if you're just concerned about what to say to your child, give me a buzz and I can talk through specifically, you know, things that you can say. So moving on to family, spouses we'll start with. Not that children aren't family, but you know what I mean. Moving along with family. So with spouses, you can get people that are absolutely 100% and they're like, yeah, I'm there for you, babe, whatever you need. I'll support you. Could you say that unlike they are doing, as in eating health, oh God, I can't see your screen very well. Could you say that unlike they are doing, as in eating healthily, they haven't until now, so you haven't been wise and so are on a special eating plan to get back on track and healthy like them? You could, but personally I would advise about saying the word special. You could say I'm on a tailored eating plan that has been designed for me personally, taking into consideration my activity and the foods that I'd like. But if you say special, some children might, well, I want a special eating plan too. Because often, particularly in younger children, special infers that it is something unique, exciting, you know, unless you're going to sit down and say, look, this is your special eating plan, this is what I've designed for you. It depends, you know, how you're going to phrase it. But as general, I would just say that you're eating healthy because that's what you personally need at that moment. Martin, that is what our daughter came in with. I have the prize draw ready, so I will do that at the end. Okay, so spouses, as I said, love them as we do. Some can be your absolute rock, like mine's been fantastic for me. When I haven't had well days, as you say, he has brought me my products, no problem. But also pre-1-to-1, he was also trying to keep me happy. So I used to be a bad one for period pain, and I would want chocolate, hot chocolate. I would like all sorts of things to make me feel better. It would soothe me. And he would dutifully bring them like any good husband would. You know, if I was having a bad emotional day, he would make my favourite meal. Because I often associated food with sadness and joy. You know, it's someone's birthday, yay, let's make a birthday cake. Or we weren't ones for eating out generally. We had a lot of eat-ins with takeaways, but generally it was making people meals for their birthdays. And again, Martin, as a trained chef, very supportive of that. If I said I wanted to eat such and such, he would make it. But since I talked to him openly and honestly and actually explained to him that I can't control my health condition, there isn't much I can do, there is no cure as such, but what I can do is try and ease some of my immediate symptoms, such as my bad back. And I know that losing weight will do that. So rather than being judgmental, are you sure you want to eat that? He'll just say, Vanessa, is that part of your plan today? So it gives me that jerk to bring me to intention in case I'm accidentally eating something without thinking of it. Now, I don't mean I've fallen over and a Turkish delight's fallen into my mouth. I mean, sometimes habits, well, a lot of times habits can be hard to break. So it's quite easy just to walk past the fridge or the cupboard and just pull something out. And so sometimes, you know, it is helpful just to say to someone, but also if they say too much, you can get defiant, or I can. And had I have had the, are you sure you want to be eating that? I probably would have stuffed the whole thing in my face just to spite them. And equally at work, you know, you don't want someone judging you every 2 minutes. we do have a flexible approach. So if one day you're having a cup of soup and the next day you're having salad, you don't want someone saying to you, what happened to your salad? Have you gone off break? Have you gone off plan? You know, no, you haven't. You're just eating something different for your choice. So again, it's no one else's business. They don't deserve an explanation for everything that they do in the work, for everything that you do in the workplace. But you could just say, look, I've had this diet tailored to me. I know what I'm doing. Thank you for your concern. As Jackie said, I'm not planning on getting too skinny. I just want to be comfortable. I want to be where I want to be. I have my own goals in mind. Thank you for your concern. Just leave it like that. If it's your spouse, if it's your brother or sister, you don't need to lose weight, come on, you're wasting away. Now, obviously, they might have a genuine concern, and I do have concerns about some of these diet regimes out there which are unchecked. Like, there is a certain change rounds of the Fast Slim products which you can just buy off the shelves, and there is no regulation. There is no one assisting you on how many you can have. There is no one who knows whether you're starving yourself or not, and they do bring me great concern. So if you aren't following something that is tailored towards you and there is someone there to keep you accountable, they might be saying that you're thin enough already because they are genuinely concerned. So I'm not saying ignore absolutely everyone, because there will be people out there that do actually have your best interests at heart. But for the most people, the hecklers, if you like, it might even be your own inner voice. Oh, well, a little bit won't hurt. Or, oh, well, you've gone off plan now. You may as well keep going. Start again Monday. These are things that we can say to ourselves. These are things that others can say to them. And my tip for you is to be focused on what you want. Have a clear goal. And I can't say that enough. Have a clear goal in mind as to what it is that you want. It might be a dress size. It might be a number on the scales. So, question then, do you have a clear goal? Do you have a dress size or a number in mind? Now, I don't want you to tell me what that is because, everything is confidential. But if you have a goal, I would like you to type 1 in the comments, whether that's live or on replay. If you don't have a specific goal, I would like you to type 2. Okay, now I find that having a goal actually brings you long-term motivation. Now, say, for example, you've got, thank you very much, I'm Vanessa. Charmaine has already typed in 1, so that's great news. If you're looking for a dress size, for example, I just wanted to be a 14. I'd been a 14 before. I knew I was healthy and confident and felt good about myself confidence-wise as a 14. So I got one of my favourite outfits and I hung it on the outside of my wardrobe so I could see it. Every morning, every time I went to bed, every time I just was searching randomly for something that I couldn't find. Again, Jackie's got another one. Fantastic. I found it helpful to have that goal in mind. It might be that you've got a holiday planned. Maybe you could get a little picture of your destination, stick it on the fridge. It might be that you're searching for a bit more confidence. Maybe you could write a few inspirational quotes for yourself and stick them on the mirror where you can see them every day. I want to feel more confident. I want to be running around with the kids or grandkids. I want more energy. Write down those goals and make sure you can see them, because there will be bumps along the road. There will be things that try and steer you off course, but all we need to do is make sure it's the scenic route, not the end of the route, because we want you to get to your destination. So having goals, absolutely fantastic. And if you've got these naysayers around you that are trying to break your sat nav, shall we say. It is just about having those phrases rehearsed, possibly, just to say, no, thank you. I don't want that muffin right now. It's very kind of you to offer, but it doesn't fit in with my goals right now. No, thank you. I don't want to have a Chinese takeaway with you this week. I'd still love to come round your house. Do you mind if I just bring my own? I've done that, just for the record, and my friends absolutely had no problem with it. If it's your partner, you could just say, look, I know you love me. I know you want me to be happy. I know you think that I'm perhaps feeling stressed a little bit, but food isn't going to help me long term. I appreciate that you are buying me XYZ to cheer me up, but the thing that will absolutely cheer me up and make me happy is to reach my goal. It's honesty, and it is just getting that message across to the people that you love, the people that you work with. You know, you don't owe them an explanation, but if you want to have something short, sharp, rehearsed, you know, no thank you because it doesn't fit in with my plan, no thank you, or it's kind of you to air your concerns, I'll bear it in mind. Sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. And if you just say, you know, I'll take your comments on board. Thank you for raising that with me. They feel like they've done a good thing. You've walked away without being deterred. So it is important, firstly, to remember that dieting isn't a dirty word. Diet is literally what you're eating. And when you have those goals, and, you know, a couple of you have typed in one in the comments, and hopefully those of you on replay, there'll be a few more ones on there. And if you have pressed 2 because you have not got a goal set, not the end of the world, pick up the phone, send me a message or an email, and let's work out some goals. Let's specifically drill down, you know, what are your stoppers? How can we get around them, and where do you want to be? So once we get a few more ones in the comment, you know, it's about reframing those conversations, getting those stoppers out the way, so that you can keep your sat-nav on chart, basically. Jackie's saying, I found by choosing an item of clothing I wanted to feel good in was better than deciding a weight number. Absolutely, and the same was true for me. At the end of the day, other than you, possibly your doctor, depending on whether you've got health conditions, no one knows what you weigh. You know, you don't have to be 10 stone to prove a point, you know. It is your health and how you feel at the end of the day. Now, the NHS do still use BMIs, which is your body mass index, which takes into account your height and your weight, determine whether you're healthy, overweight. But these don't take into account your body shape, your muscle mass. So they're great for a goal. Sorry, they're not great for a goal. They're great as a guide, but, you know, absolutely not set in stone. Some of those BMIs to be healthy are actually pretty impractical for the average Joe. You'd be more better off to look at your waist circumference and try and see if you can get it about half of your height. That would be more realistic than actually looking at the BMI, and I've gone off on one now. Then I moved my mini goals as I went. Jackie's continued. Yeah, mini goals, absolutely fantastic. You know, when I was a size 22, 24, being a size 14 again seemed like a mammoth job. I didn't know that I could do it, you know, especially with limited mobility, because you always feel that you need to be a gym bunny to achieve anything. But it is about getting the right balance of the calorie deficit for what's needed for you. So yeah, I went down in dress sizes. I celebrated when I chucked out my 24s. I celebrated when I chucked out my 20s. A huge, you know, celebration when I was in my 16s, and I took loads of bags to the charity shop, and I bought myself some new outfits. So again, doesn't have to be food related. It's not, oh, I've hit my next stone marker, I'm going to go and have a pizza. Why would you? All you're doing is adding to your journey. Think of something else you could have as a treat. You know, is there a spa day you could go on? Could you pamper yourself at home? Is there a new book you want? Is there a new outfit? Charmaine says, yep, I wanted to feel comfortable in my wetsuit. Just to let you know, Charmaine's into sailing and paddleboarding. And this has enabled me to feel more confident, which is fantastic because I've actually seen Charmaine recently out in her wetsuit, in a sailing boat on a standing up paddleboard, and she absolutely does look amazing. So I'm really pleased this has helped her confidence as well. And I know, and she's just had a massive clothes clear out as well. Fantastic, love it. To recap then, I will post a comment in the chat, but it is www.foodafactoflife.org.uk, which will give you some pointers about talking to children specifically. If it's adults, be it family, spouses, siblings, co-workers, just have 5 minutes to yourself. Think about the reactions that you've already got or the reactions that you fear you might get, and think how you'd respond to them. And, you know, whether you want to practice saying them to me in the mirror, you know, just have something that you can confidently have as your go-to phrase to take the pressure back off again. Okay, so, yeah, go you. Absolutely go you. I'm absolutely thrilled to bits for you. And it was, you know, lovely to see, and how many just bags you've got bagged up already of those clothes that are no longer in keeping with the new you. So, without further ado, if I can find the button, we have...
Alrighty then, this week's gorgeous recipe is sirloin steak with red onion marmalade and jacket potato. Step 3 and above, only 400 calories per serving. This takes less than 10 minutes to prepare, 45 to 50 minutes cooking time, and at a great cost of £4.97 per person due to the steak price. But it's gorgeous. Let's get into it. So firstly, we're going to take 2 jacket potatoes at 100 grams in weight. We're going to give it a good prick all over, a nice slice down the middle, not too deep. Then wrap these in tin foil and pop them in the oven for 20 minutes. And while these are cooking, we are going to prepare our red onions. So take 1 large red onion, top and tail it, peel it, and finally slice it. Then set this to one side and we'll cook it later on. Now a little bit of a topping for our mashed potatoes. So we are going to take 30 grams of blue cheese. You can either use Stilton, Roquefort, I have used a Saint-Agur soft cheese. So I'm going to use 30 grams of that, along with 2 tablespoons of creme fraiche, 0% fat. Pop that in a bowl and give it a good mix together. Then take a few sprigs of fresh parsley, chop this up, and simply sprinkle it on top, and there is your jacket potato topping. Done. Pop it in the fridge until you need it. Now we're going to prepare our steaks. So take 2 sirloin steaks, trim off the fat, and then you want to cut these up so that they weigh 125 grams. Now, if you get this from the butcher, you will be able to order steaks at 125 gram weight. But once you've trimmed it, set that aside. You can use that a little bit later on. And then we're going to season this with some salt and pepper on both sides. Then take your tenderizer or meat mallet. It has 2 sides, a soft side and a dimpled side. We are going to use the dimpled side. Give this a little bit of a bash just to tenderize it, not too heavy, let the hammer do the work, and then set these aside for cooking in a bit. Now then, your jacket potatoes should have finished cooking in the foil, so we're going to unwrap these and then just pop them back in the oven for another 25 minutes to make sure that they're nice and cooked all the way through. You might need to add an extra 5 minutes to it. Now let's get cooking our red onion marmalade. So we're going to get a frying pan nice and hot, add some low-cal spray, give it a good layer, whack the onions in there, and then reduce the heat down to a low heat. And we're going to cook these for 15 minutes and gently soften them through. After 15 minutes, it should look something like this. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. Give it a real good mix up and then continue to cook this for 10 minutes on a low heat. Now, with just 5 minutes left on the timer for our jackets and our red onion marmalade, we're going to cook the steaks here. Now, I like mine rare, which is why I'm leaving 5 minutes. So you're going to go and cook this. You want your griddle or your barbecue or your pan at a very high temperature. And we're going to cook this for literally 2 minutes either side. But depending on how you like your steak, you need to cook this to your preference. And now let's get this bad boy dished up. Pop your jacket potato onto a warm plate, cut it in half and just give it a little squeeze to push that potato out. Place your steak on the side next to it, nice and gently, and then half of your red onion marmalade on the plate next to it. Now we're going to take our gorgeous jacket potato topping that we made earlier, pop half of that on top of your jacket potato. And there you have it. Step 3 and above, gorgeous sirloin steak with red onion marmalade and jacket potato. Coming in at only 400 calories per serving. Less than 10 minutes prep time, 45 to 50 minutes cook. And that is mainly for the jacket potato. £4.97 per person. Go ahead and give this a try for yourselves. Leave a comment down below on how you got on with it. And remember, guys, like, share, follow and subscribe for more tasty recipes from 1-to-1 Team Thomas.
Okay, we're back again. So I had this myself. Absolutely amazing. I'm not usually a big fan of onion. So caramelised onion, a real treat, actually. My steak was lovely and juicy. Despite Martin's irritations, I do have mine well done. But it was fantastically. He is very good at getting them just right. So, okay. Don't forget to let us know if you try the recipe a week or if you have any other requests for future recipes. Right, okay, so thank you for all your comments so far. The next thing I just want to move on to is just a little recap on May. Basically, we challenged our current slimmers to do either a 30-day or a 60-day summer challenge. Some did 30, some have signed up for the full 60, so that is ongoing. And we have a specific Facebook group to support those slimmers. If you're not on Facebook and you're watching this on YouTube and, you know, you want to catch up with anything that is on Facebook, like our recipe archive, for example, just send me a message. The link's in the bio, and I can get some stuff emailed out to you. Sorry, just thought of that. And again, don't forget, if this helps you at all, please share it so it can help other people. And don't forget those hashtag lives and hashtag replays. So back to this challenge. We've challenged them with some random tasks. We've been collecting wooden spoons, sparkly objects. We've been taking time out to actually focus on ourselves and alternatives to food rewards. We've done a little bit of activity. We've done loads of things. It's not been a challenge every day. The main challenge has been to stick to the step that you're on, because at the end of the day, the fastest way to lose weight will always be the way that you can stick to. So if you find things are too restrictive, it is better to step up than step off. So, as a reward for taking part in these challenges, Martin actually come up with a May giveaway. So for every £1 lost in May, you got an entry into our draw. And delivered by my lovely assistant earlier, you can see in this bowl, I'm going the wrong way. I don't know if you can see anyway. In this bowl, I've got all the entries. These are all the pounds that have been lost by our slimmers over the last month. And I'm about to draw a name. And when I do, that person will have that whole package sent to them, which included the portable blender, which Martin also bought for himself. And he has said that is absolutely amazing, particularly because he's on the go a lot, like he's at a gig at the moment. He's got a smoothie, a bottle of water, and then he's got this portable blender so that he can make it up, have something different from just having bars or the ready-made shakes, because he loves his smoothies, but still stay on plan when he's out. So that and many other goodies will be going to Sam. Now, I'm extremely proud of Sam. He's actually one of Martin's clients, but I have to say he's done extremely well. So I'm really pleased that he's been pulled out, and I'll just prove to the camera. Oh, I think you can see that, the name that I've pulled out. Yeah, Sam, I won't say how much, but he's lost an incredible amount of weight in a short amount of time, sticking to plan in circumstances that he didn't think he'd be able to. Again, travels a lot, and we're both really, really proud of him. So congratulations, Sam. Well done. And if you're not watching right now, don't worry. Martin will send you a message and we'll get the goodies out to you very soon. So I better just leave that out as the winner, not put it back in the pot like I nearly just did. Yeah, so again, as a summary then, tonight we have talked about communicating to others, about being on plan and not wanting others to put us off plan. We've talked about mini goals. We've talked about Charmaine's clothes clear out, which is absolutely amazing. And Jackie shared as well about the dress sizes motivating her as well. We've had our recipe of the week, which was very tasty indeed. And then we've just done the prize draw. Now, I can't see any more comments. So, other than well done, Sam. One stone lost this month, bloody. Sam's put, there you go then. That's how well he's done. Martin's shared it, so he's obviously had permission to do so. How many pounds did we lose collectively? Do you know, I don't know, and there's a lot in here to add up, so I will have to get back to you on that. Okay, so Martin will be back next week as usual, hence the name, Mondays with Martin. I've just hijacked it while he's been out busy this week, but I hope you've enjoyed my rambling and that you've had something to take away that helps you this week. If there's anything that you want to talk about in following weeks, just let us know. If you've got any requests for more recipes of the week, just let us know. If you're a member of our Facebook recipe archive, just let us know. Again, if you've got any requests for things to be added into there. It is laid out in a guides format. There you go, that's Martin just returned.
£37 lost total.
Oh, £37 lost in total. Thank you very much, Martin. Very efficient of you.
I've been watching you on the way home.
With the recipe guides, it's literally laid out in steps, but there's also some ideas for product hacks, like making cheesecakes out of half a bar and half a shake, which taste absolutely amazing. I think it was actually a previous recipe of the week as well, so have a little look through if you're not on Facebook. But other than that, Martin and I will both love you and leave you, and Martin will see you next week.
End on the pad.